Genesis. Genesis is the book of beginning. And in the beginning, there is something that happens. Yenye ni poa sana, but let's think about it. In the beginning, first, it was empty. And then second, the Spirit of God was moving on the emptiness. It was empty, then the Spirit of God was moving on the emptiness. That means that sometimes God's Spirit even moves on vessels that are empty. But what happens first? The first thing that happens is when God is starting to create, He separates light from darkness. Light from darkness. What are we saying? That in the beginning, when God starts to create, the first thing He does when He starts to move on the emptiness that is on the surface, He first of all separates the darkness from the light. And that is exactly what happens when we get born again. Before we get born again, we are living empty lives. So therefore, the Spirit of God still can move on an empty life, but the first thing that the Spirit of God does, He separates light from darkness. That is why later, the Bible will say that a people, the Gentiles, in great darkness have seen a great light. You understand? The first thing that He does is that He is the source of light. He separates light from darkness. So He separates you and I from the kingdom of darkness. The book of Romans, that when He came, He saved us from the kingdom of darkness into the kingdom of light. He separates light from darkness. He separates us from darkness and ushers us into light. And therefore, somewhere else in the book of Ephesians, it will say that therefore we are dead to the actions of darkness and we are born into light. And therefore, the first thing when God is creating, He creates one, that the Spirit of God is moving over emptiness. And when the Spirit of God is moving over emptiness, the first thing that the Spirit of God does when the emptiness starts to move out is to separate, first of all, you from darkness, and then two, separate you from every action of darkness. Therefore, if you have come into the kingdom of light, remember, you are separated from darkness first. Next time, we will be talking about the sources of light, both in the night, which is darkness, and in the day, which is light. See you next time. This is Christ Zion Assembly.